Going on, everybody? I've been getting a lot of requests for us to kind of analyze how do I get properties, how do I get to them quickly. There's a lot of properties out there. Right now I'm looking to purchase a house out of state, more like a multi-unit, and then I'm going to show you how I analyze these properties, go through kind of the process of elimination. If you want to see some of the videos before, like my 1% rule and things like that, I believe I posted that in the past. I'll probably have a link below so you guys can see kind of one of the things that I do to get through it quickly. Alright, so without further ado, when you're a real estate agent like myself, but you're out of your jurisdiction, so I'm kind of looking at things in the Midwest right now. They showed me a list of properties. Oh, I want to mention that before I recorded this, I did this a couple days ago, which is probably good because a lot of things have happened since then, because I put in an offer, and I'm going to show you everything that I went on through the whole process. But what I recorded, the audio got messed up. So now you guys get to kind of see exactly what I went through. So right now I'm going to do a completely random house that I haven't seen. You're going to see the process. I have no idea how the numbers are going to look out, which is good for you guys, and I will tell you if this is something I would pursue. So starting here, this is something that came on the market a few hours ago. It's a fourplex. First thing I do is kind of just look at the pictures. If there's no pictures, I just run away. Well, it depends if the numbers look good, but most of the time I look at the pictures. I mean, if it's boarded up house. So right now I'm just kind of glancing. You can kind of see this isn't the best, but I'm looking not only for aesthetics, but I'm looking for the bones of the property. So right now, I mean, you can kind of see right here that there's no like stove and fridge and things like that. To be honest, automatically this is a no-go for me. Let's look at, okay, this is automatic no-go for me too. I mean, you can see right here the roof looks completely jacked. The panels here look jacked. The steps, and we haven't even started looking on the inside. The inside isn't bad actually. Why do they take so bad care outside? Okay. Interesting. And you see the description here, spacious multi-unit. Okay, this is a no-go for me automatically. It tells you how much their lease is, which is, I appreciate this because it saves me an extra step. So they're saying their lease is $675 and $683. And then if you think of my 1% rule, this is right under, this is a little bit over $1,200. And you can see how much the cost is, $110. So it meets my standards, but it cuts it so close, and I'm seeing the repairs outside, it will be an automatic no-go for me. So the problem is the house that I'm about to talk about, they already took it off because, and I'm going to explain that in a second. So this house I looked at, they were selling for $89,900. And I looked, I was like, okay, the outside doesn't look bad. Inside looks already occupied. I'm looking at the bones. So the basement, I don't care too much about. So based off the few pictures, and I don't know why it is in some of these cities that the real estate agents, they don't take professional pictures. They just go in there with their camera phone and just like snap, snap, snap. If you could look at some of my old videos, that is a terrible way to doing business, but obviously seems like it's a culture over there because this is Ohio. It's a culture over there because everyone's doing it. But anyway, photos look good. Next thing I do is look at the price. So this is Redfin. This is Redfin, so they didn't put the price. So in the description of the model that my agent sent me, they said that they're getting rent for, let me just give you the exact number. Yeah, so one unit was getting $800 and another unit was getting $1,050. Off the 1% rule I have, this is more than exceeds what I was looking for. So I was like, okay, let's look into it further. So the next thing I do, well, there's two things. I always go to Bigger Pockets. There's a lot of things you can use. You can use rentalmeter.com. You can use Bigger Pockets. If you want a quick rent estimator, again, the keyword is the estimator. All right, so for a 2-bedroom apartment, 1 bath, it says $625. So this is kind of what scared me. So if it was not that the actual owner of the property told me that this is how much he's getting for rent, it would have been a hard pass for me. So 625 does not meet my criteria, but he's claiming that he's getting the rent. So what I did next was I called my agent. I told him, hey, can you verify this, the rent they're getting? Even when I told my agent in Ohio this, he could not believe that that was the rent he's getting. He even said that kind of scares me. So he called, verified that one is a like a voucher program, and the other one he's paying in cash. But again, it kind of scares me. But let's move forward. So now that we know the rents, let's go into tools. You go to rental property. And so you go to, you start a new report. All right, you put an address. Again, forgive me. All right, so the price, $89,900. Closing costs, I know from what my agent told me, this is to buy down a property. I'm going to put down 25%. Interest rate, mine's is kind of high, but put whatever yours is. Last year it was 2.99. You can get it for even less than that. And that's why it's probably good to buy right now, because a lot of buyers are renting away just because of the high interest rate. But to me, that's the best time to go in because it's going to be less competition. The prices are going down a little bit as compared to last time. Rental income, we already know this to be $1,850 I'm going to be getting from this property. Expenses, so sometimes it calculates the taxes for you. Let's say you don't know the taxes. This is what I do. Go to Redfin, Zillow. They give you and again, this is an estimate. The best way to do is actually go to the county's taxes. All right, you go to the calculator. You can see the homeowner's insurance, 34. So I'm just going to use that number just as a reference. This is monthly, so I'll switch it to monthly. And then you go to property taxes. Again, Redfin, you can use property taxes, $53 a month. Again, this is an estimate. Also, with these calculators, they actually tell you how much their current owner is paying, but that doesn't mean how much you're going to be paying, because you're paying a lot more. And I think this is what's screwed me up. So I'm going to share you guys later. Okay, repairs. I always put 5%. 5% repairs, meaning if anything happens, you gotta send someone to fix plumbing. I always put 5% a month. Again, this is your number. It can be 7%, it can be 10%, it can be 12%. I put 5%. Vacancy rate, 5%. What that is let's say someone moves out of your property, you want to have some money in reserves so that, let's say you're not paying for a month or two, you actually have money saved in the bank that you can pay so that you're not stressing out. All right, capital expenditure, I don't put anything. I know this is terrible and people at bigger pockets are probably pulling out their hair, but that essentially covers big ticket items, the water heater, the roof, things like that. I'm not putting anything. That's fine, you can put whatever you want. Management fees, I always put 10%, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. Some people do for a flat fee of $100, some people do for whatever it is, but I put 10% just in case. Electricity, tenants are paying, I'm not paying. Gas, tenants are paying. Water, most of the time you're paying. I just put a flat thing of $150, maybe more, maybe less. Hopefully it's less, or you may not be paying at all. Finish analysis. Before I scroll up, I always say that when you're trying to buy a property, you're trying to beat the stock market. Okay, so the stock market, a win would be 8%, 12%, anything within this realm. This is telling me that I am going to be earning 34% cash on cash return on your investment. That's phenomenal. Okay, so this is a cash flow after all the bills have been paid, after you've paid your property management, after your capital expenditure, vacancy, everything. I would be getting $742 a month, pure cash flow. This is a complete win. So, like I said, my audio was jacked up, so I'm just reenacting what exactly happened. I stopped. I called my real estate agent in Ohio. He called. He confirmed the how much they're paying. He even said that they have a property manager, which I would use or will use if everything works perfectly. All right, next thing I do, I go to Google Maps. Since this is long distance, I can't just drive past the area. And I just kind of scout the street. So right here. Alright, Google Maps is so good. You can like scout, you can walk down the street. You can kind of see, are the houses good? Are they boarded up? Okay, this looks like a nice residential area. Look at that nice man sitting on his porch. Alright. Lots of land. This looks residential. Let me turn around. Let me see what's across the street. Alright, not bad cars. Okay, nothing boarded up. Okay, so I just kind of scouted, went down the street a little bit. As you can see, everything looked normal. I mean, they probably could cut their grass a little bit more, but nothing big, nothing major. Alright, so I put in an offer, and then one of the big things that I always tell people is like when you put an offer, make sure you push them to make a decision as quickly as possible. I mean, obviously they have the leverage, it's their property, but there's a reasonable time, usually between 24 hours that they give you a decision. I always push that they do it as quickly as possible. Why? Because most people use your offer as leverage. They call other people like, oh, we have an offer in hand, if you're still interested, yada yada yada, let there be a bidding war, which I don't want. Hours went by. I think we put in the offer about 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock went by. I was like, all right, because he made it seem like they had no offers in hand. So I'm like, what's taking them so long? Obviously, it's a few hours, it's not a big deal. Evening time rolled around. I called my agent like, hey, what's going on? Now he's saying, oh, he has another offer in hand and they believe they're gonna get an offer in the morning. And I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I didn't want. And now we're in this situation. I do not want to lease the property. So what I do, I go back to my thing and I was like, okay, how much would it cost for me to increase my offer? Because I didn't want to lose something. I know it's 34% on investment. I was like, all right, I was willing to go $100,000 to this property. All right, numbers stay the same, except obviously percentage-wise, it doesn't stay the same. 100,000. All right, so it brought it down to $686 a month, 28%, about 29% return on investment. Still pretty solid. I was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 100,000 return on investment. I increased my earnest money deposit as well. Usually you want your earnest money deposit to be about 1%. I was willing to go 10%. I mean, to me, it didn't really matter at this point because I was putting down 25% on this property. But my agent told me not to do it because he said there's some sleazeballs out there. So I was like, all right, whatever, I trust you. So I honestly only need $1,000 earnest money deposit down. So waited a few hours, and bada bing, bada boom, they accepted our offer. Now I went to my lending officer and I told him, hey, we got this solid property. If you can go ahead and run everything, make sure everything looks good. This man comes back to me. He comes back to me and the taxes increased tremendously. So the taxes increased from $54 to like $200 and something. Every number was spot on, but the taxes. That brought my cash flow to $494 a month and down to 19.26 cash on cash return on investment. This hit my chest so hard because we're talking about it was $700 something in cash flow to $494. Still solid. I'm under contract. I still have not done the inspection yet. I still have not talked to their property management, so there's still a lot of factors. I'm hoping that I can still kind of negotiate a little bit, but I'm going to get back to you guys once everything is set in stone and I am officially under contract.